Well, we're certainly not where we would like to be. I think the statistic I saw was that in 2019, only 8% of interventional radiologists were women. That's actually worse than in radiology in general, where in the US at least, we're about 25%. Now, certainly around the world, other countries have a much higher representation of women in radiology, but I think the short answer is not where we need to be. Now, that said, back in the early 80s, only 8% of radiologists in total were women. So we've really made progress, but a lot more to do. At the ACR, we actually did, the American College of Radiology, we did some research a couple of years ago, trying to tap into what are the real barriers. People have talked about women not necessarily liking the amount of radiation, or perhaps it's the physics. I'd rather go with the data, which suggests that a really powerful deterrent is when you're not seeing women leaders, women role models. And I think that's where the Society of Interventional Radiology, and specifically the Women in IR group, has done such a terrific job in highlighting those pioneering women. Well, one of the things that we've realized is that we have to connect with medical students early in their training, because some medical students don't get any radiology elective during medical school. Others come to it late. By the time they meet radiology, they've already decided on another specialty. So a lot of radiology specialties, including the Society of Interventional Radiology, now have robust medical student outreach. And I think that's going to be critically important to increasing the diversity of the specialty overall. Well, I talked about some of the lessons that I've learned and lessons that I continue to try and teach myself. One important lesson was that it's easy when you get to my stage of one's career to portray your journey as a straight line and that everything you did was intentional. And a key message is your career is probably going to zig and zag a little bit. You get to tell that story, and it's never too late to find the career portfolio that works for you. I had great mentors and sponsors. I always like to say I wasn't the first woman who could have done it or who should have done it. I'd like to think that I've opened the doors for other women, especially younger women in the profession, through sponsorship into committee positions and board positions. But again, there's a lot more to do. So it's not success if it's just you. You have to help the next woman up. Look, it's a phenomenal career. I always talk about radiology at the intersection of technology and humanity. Interventional radiology brings a whole other aspect of therapeutics, and it's an exciting profession. There are some incredible role models in interventional radiology. Dr. Maureen Cohey, who invited me to give the talk, so many I could name. So there are great sponsors, great mentors that you can find, and it's a wonderful career.